Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome back to my shitty book review channel where I discuss independent books, literary classics, sometimes nonfiction, just everything in between. I love books. Today, as you can tell by the title of this episode, I'm going to be talking about The Wayward Bus by John Steinbeck. I have a paperback, I have a hardcover. I just love John Steinbeck, so if I see a used copy of one of his works at a reasonable price, I pick it up. Alrighty, just bear with me one moment while I collect my thoughts. To my shitty intro, today we'll be discussing The Wayward Bus by John Steinbeck, who is my all-time favorite author. If you like John Steinbeck and other works like his, you might be interested in my work. Corpse Lily will be coming out later this summer, early fall. If you like John Steinbeck, you might like it because I do my best to try to imitate that style, though I admit I fail miserably because he is just that much of a genius. Anyways, keep an eye out for future videos where I'll be posting a link for Corpse Lily in the description below. Thank you. I have yet to read a book by John Steinbeck that I didn't like. I think the first one I read by him was Of Mice and Men when I was still in high school, and that was one of the books that made me realize I love reading because it just took me somewhere else. It made me think, it made me happy, it made me sad, it made me laugh at times, and that's just a really good sign of a wonderful writer. The next one I read after that was The Pearl, and then it was just on from there. I just kept reading and reading and reading him, and I have yet to find an author that takes me to the same place emotionally as John Steinbeck does. I love him. That's why we discuss him so much on this station. If you look back at previous videos, I discussed my favorite book of all time, which was Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck. And another video I have is The Grapes of Wrath. So if you feel like going through my channel, checking out those videos, please do so and see my take on those books. But as you can guess from this video, I love them. He's just the best. In this book, The Wayward Bus was no different. So what we have is just classic John Steinbeck intro. He brings us in to this gas station by just talking about the entire history of the whole area. And he does so beautifully where you just feel like you're there. You feel like you're part of the history. And it makes you just really appreciate the land where this story takes place on. It takes place in one single day. One single day. And the amount of characters that he brings into the fold that wake up in this gas station because the bus broke down the day before, so they're stuck in this gas station, and it just takes place the next morning where the mechanic, the bus driver, gets up early with his mechanic's apprentice, and they just start working on this thing before the sun's even up, trying to get it ready. And then one by one, people start waking up, and you get introduced to the characters. And you just feel something for every single one of them. Even the ones that you kind of don't like at first, you start to sympathize with them and start to really appreciate them. We start off with the main character, Juan. Him and his apprentice, Pimples. They're the first ones you meet, and right away, just the way these two people interact, and you're like, these are good folks. These are just average, regular folks. And then, like I said, one by one, people start to get up. So Juan's wife, Alice, is the next one to get up. And she's just miserable right off the rip, unhappy because they gave up their beds to the guests because, that's just the right thing to do. The bus broke down. It wasn't anyone's fault, but they're trying to be good business owners and cater to the needs of their guests. And just one by one, these people wake up, start trying to get some breakfast in the restaurant. Some people come and go in the restaurant, to get gas and everything else, but we don't really get close with any of those characters. John Steinbeck, honestly, a fly enters the restaurant and becomes a part of the story. It's a character in the story. And you fall for the fly. You're like, my goodness, I really like this fly, and it's a bug. But that's just really a testament to the talent of John Steinbeck. He's a brilliant, brilliant writer. So eventually they get the bus going, right? As you can imagine. And while we're waiting to see if the bus is going to get going, if they're going to get out of there, if they're going to make it on schedule, we briefly get introduced to this another set of characters, and it takes a whole chapter to a whole bunch of characters where another bus is getting ready to load and bring this other group over here to where the book takes place. And this is all just to introduce one character, and she's this beautiful, beautiful young blonde woman. And it really makes you sympathize because sometimes in life you're just like, oh geez, that person looks like they have it all together and must have it a really easy life because of it. Well, in this case, it's her beauty. Well, the beauty causes more problems than it does anything good. So again, John Steinbeck makes you really see the depth of these characters, because you're just hoping that she gets treated well and people stop hitting on her and she can just get to her destination without getting bothered, for goodness sakes. And it makes you start questioning yourself. How would you react if you saw someone as beautiful as her get on the bus? Would you hit on her? Would you be a shy guy that didn't know how to approach her? Would you try to make small talk just to be close to her and end up embarrassing yourself? It was just interesting. Women didn't like her because she was so beautiful. Men fell all over themselves for her, whether married, rich, poor, ugly. It didn't matter. She got hit on. And it was just fascinating to see how this character got introduced. And she gets dropped off with the rest of these characters. And then all of a sudden, they're off and running into this bus. And that's only halfway through the story. The rest of it is all just what they're talking about, how they mingle together on this bus through their very, very short bus ride towards this bridge that could be broken down. And they don't even know, so they take a detour, get stuck in some mud. And it's just interesting to see how each and every single one of these characters reacts to these situations. Just like classic John Steinbeck, there's really no plot. It's all character driven, but like great literary fiction, that's all you need. The story doesn't really have an ending, but you're just left so satisfied by just the short one day snapshot of all these individuals' lives, and I loved it. I can't say anything better about this book. It was brilliant. It was genius. It was John Steinbeck. I'm going to keep it short because I don't need to say anything more. The guy's a legend for a reason. Pick up this book, give it a shot. And also, again, keep an eye out for my book, Corpse Lily, coming out later this summer, early autumn. And again, I try as hard as I can to imitate writers like him because I just love them. And that's what inspiration's all about. You just read stuff that you're inspired by. You try to imitate it. It's the ultimate compliment is imitation, right? And I know I fall short of great writers like him, but darn it, I try, and I'm going to keep trying, all right? You could have picked any book review channel on the internet. For some reason, you decided to click on mine. As always, I love the hell out of you for it. Peace.